resource. The Grow Show with Kyle Cushman, only on CannabisRadio.com.
Dr. Dina is back with more Cannabis Confidential, only on CannabisRadio.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to Cannabis Confidential with Dr. Dina, and today I have an awesome guest, Stephanie Landa. She goes by Let Freedom Grow on Instagram. She is a cannabis weed warrior, and she is my weed warrior of the week. And we were just discussing her case back in San Francisco in 2002. She was invited by the city to open up a grow house to provide cannabis back to the collectives in the city of San Francisco. And someone from San Francisco City turned her into the feds, and the feds prosecuted her. And her two co-defendants, Tom and Kevin, really, that was just such a horrible time. And that's really when I met Stephanie, is right when all this was going on, right, Steph?
Yeah, actually it was all going on at that time, but I stayed out of prison for 5 years fighting it.
Yes, I remember Kevin was in jail because I had met his girlfriend with you.
Right, who died of a brain tumor.
Oh, so
I know. Crazy.
So we've really seen some crazy things in this industry. And another thing that, you have really brought a lot of light to my eyes as far as people in prison for pot, because I am not someone that really was raised with people that I knew that were close to me that went to jail. So I didn't really, other than seeing it on TV, understand how the criminal, the system works. And the jails are a profiteering system, and they are a business 100%. And it wasn't until you told me about your experiences of going to federal prison for, almost 5 years, and just the things that you had to deal with on a daily basis, really just brought, it inspired me to look deeper and see what can we do to help our prisoners.
Yes, I was Landa Prison Outreach Program that I actually formed in prison because I realized that people needed something. And we sent in books while I was in prison and formed a library in there. So when I got out, we kept doing that. And then I got really sick with cancer, and I melted with the Human Solution. And the Human Solution does court support, goes to court. If you have a case, we'll go to court for you and bring lots of people that wear green ribbons. And we take care of 120 people that are in jail for pot, 50 of them for life. So Dr. Dina has a challenge.
Oh, you're going, Stephanie. You're jumping right to the gun.
Oh, right to the gun, because that's all I'm really interested in, is raising money for these poor people that are in prison. They don't have toothpaste, toothbrushes, a brush for their hair. They have to wear these heavy steel-toed boots unless they can afford to buy a pair of sneakers. I mean, it's just so crazy in there. Not, give them a bag of chips or, it's just a very crazy thing when you get in there because you're stripped. You have nothing. Of everything.
And so the things that really, stuck in my mind that you were telling me about that you had to pay for was, first of all, you have to buy a phone card to call your family.
Right.
Second of all, stamps if you want to write your friends or your family or anyone writing to you. And then you have, a little hot sauce maybe for your bologna sandwich. And then, the chips or soap or shampoo or a full-size toothbrush or tennis shoes so, your knees don't hurt from carrying around these heavy shoes. These are things that I just assumed were given to these prisoners. And what's mind-boggling is that we're paying, I think I was trying to do the math, let's assume that everyone's in low minimum security prison. That's probably $25,000 a year to house someone.
And everyone isn't, by the way. A lot of people, a lot of men especially, that got longer than a 10-year sentence, which is most of everyone that goes to prison, because they don't take deals, because they think they're right, and so they go to trial. If you go to trial, you are slammed. So those people go to maximum security. They are in maximum security with really bad people.
And it's costing us billions of dollars, or the taxpayers, and it just doesn't seem right. these families are losing, their dads. These kids are losing their fathers, their uncles, their grandfathers. They're not having, it's just not fair. And so, Stephanie and I have been talking about this for a long time. And I noticed Stephanie goes around to a lot of different dispensaries, and she has letter writing campaigns, and she'll show up at your dispensary and she'll, teach everyone how to write a letter to a prisoner. It's not that difficult, but the fact that no one does it is really kind of sad. And I think people do it because it's sort of like, when people think of an illness, they someone that's sick, they just kind of ignore it because they don't want it to be close. They don't want it to affect them. And the same thing with this. It's like the more they think about it, it's depressing to write a note to a prisoner, but that could be your dad. That could be you. And Stephanie, you brought up this amazing point to me. It's a cannabis fact of the week. And the fact is that 10% of us are going to get arrested for cannabis related charges. 10% of people that use cannabis. And everyone has 10 friends that smoke. That means one of you guys are getting arrested. And so it's really hitting close to home. And I think that we have a responsibility to really give back and help. And so Stephanie and I have come up with this idea, and we'll talk about it now. We're going to be starting a new campaign called the Dr. Dina's Cannabis POW Challenge. And we're going to challenge every dispensary, every extract artist, every edible company. Basically, any brand, any company, anyone that's involved in the industry can do this. And we will get you all the information. It'll be on my website coming soon. We're working on everything as we speak. And you'll be able to sponsor a cannabis prisoner. We're going to provide a plaque to everyone involved in our campaign, so you can display it proudly on your wall when people walk into your business, so they know that you are a supporter of the Cannabis POW Challenge, that you give back, that you're going to adopt a cannabis POW. Make sure that they have the basics that they need, because oftentimes their families can't afford it, and they're left alone to borrow soap from someone else, or wait until their buddy gets out or maybe doesn't make it through the night, and then they can have a new pair of shoes. And that's not what the message we want to these people who are not bad people and they didn't do something wrong. And we also want their families to know that we support them. And so we're going to be starting this challenge hopefully in the next few weeks. And, I want every dispensary, edible maker, extract artist, everyone involved to join and really get together and show as a community our power and support together. Steph, you have anything to say about that?
Oh my God, I say ditto.
You're so easy. And so Stephanie and I were actually up very early this morning on a conference call. And this conference call was setting up essentially our prisoner program, but that was at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that was a little early for us, so we're a little sleepy today. But I'm super excited. I know that our program is going to be amazing, and I just think that what we're doing is just so different from what other people are doing, and I really hope that in the next, couple years, we won't even need to do this, because all our prisoners will be out of jail and there will be no one to help any longer. And I think that
from your lips to the powers that be.
Right. So we're actually going to go take another short break. When we come back, Steph, I'm going to ask you a whole bunch of really interesting questions, since I know you're the expert that I have questions for. And so we will be right back with Stephanie Landa.
Cannabis Confidential with Dr. Dina will continue after a word from our most confident sponsors.
InternetMarketingNinjas.com is the online dojo of the highly trained and skilled Internet Marketing Ninjas. Disavow documents, reconsideration requests, panda and penguin penalties. Let our superior SEO ninjas confront all of your link-related issues. The Internet Marketing Ninjas are equipped to master any marketing exercise, content creation, authorship, link building, PPC, and more. Plus, build more buzz for your brand with our social media marketing strategy. Discover all that the Internet Marketing Ninjas can do for you. Visit the online dojo now at InternetMarketingNinjas.com.
Growing green to generate more green. Welcome to The Grow Show with Kyle Cushman. Each week we plant the conversational seeds about cultivation and the changing climate of cannabis culture. We'll peel back the layers of benefits of the world's most versatile plant, from food to fuel, from remedy to resource. The Grow Show with Kyle Cushman, only on CannabisRadio.com.
Dr. Dina is back with more Cannabis Confidential, only on CannabisRadio.com.
And we are joined today by Stephanie Landa, my favorite. She goes by Let Freedom Grow on Instagram. You want to check her out. I was recently, Stephanie, I was in Spain, and I was hanging out with Mark Emery, who is the Prince of Pot in Canada, who you were very close friends with, or still are close friends with. And I mentioned your name, and he just smiled and said, "Oh, Stephanie, she has the most luscious breasts." And so I've been laughing about this nonstop. And we're really excited because Stephanie is my hippie sister, and Stephanie just went to Victoria's Secret and bought herself this really lovely bra and took all these pictures with her push-up bra on, and everyone's going bananas. So if you want to throw money at the prisoners when you see Stephanie, you can just, stick it in her cleavage. She'll take that. She doesn't care where you put it.
That's so funny. I will do everything for commissary money. I'm the total commissary whore, for sure. And now, yes, I did get a bra because, I'm not being a hippie anymore. I want money. Hippies don't have money. So I'm ready. And Dina will be on the radio again tonight, on TV, actually. You should say that. I'll be there.
Yes, I will be doing a little web show tonight. So I have a couple more questions for you because we're running out of time, and I want to get through this stuff. I want to know who are your heroes?
Who are my heroes? Jack Hara for saying hemp will save the world. Excellent. And Tom Kikuchi, my mate who took me through having cancer. He's my hero. And anyone could be my hero by giving me a donation for commissary.
Oh, I like that answer. So I have a question for you.
Yes.
What is your favorite strain to grow?
My favorite strain to grow is probably haze.
So for those of you...
I'm sorry, blueberry and haze.
Blueberry,
are my favorites to grow.
My yum. So Stephanie and I first met when I had helped open the first collective on Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles, and she was providing cannabis to our collective, and we became really good friends. And I just knew that anything that Stephanie grew was going to be my favorite flavor. And that's when I realized that women actually spend more time with their plants and talk to them more, and the plants really like it, and they seem to look nicer than some of the stuff that the guys were bringing. And so, I was always really fascinated by that. But when I hear stories about how Stephanie waters her plants and does things, I just start laughing because she doesn't do it normally. She has her own way of doing things. So how long have you been doing this for, Stephanie, is really what I want to get at.
My first plants in Santa Barbara, Sycamore Canyon, outdoors, was 1966.
1966. Wow.
I started smoking pot in 1959.
Unbelievable. And do you think that pot or cannabis have affected you differently because you've smoked for so many years?
Yeah, it's probably made me the nicest person in the world.
I second that. So, Stephanie, what do you do in your spare time when you're not growing cannabis for your medicinal use or helping others?
I sit around smoking pot with my friends and educating them.
Ooh, I like that. And I do know that you've been going to a lot of the secret sessions, which are usually a bunch of, 20-something-year-old kids. So they must think you are quite a wealth of knowledge.
Oh, I had the best time Sunday night. Everyone there is so friendly and so nice, and all they want to do is smoke pot and get high and be nice.
It's really neat. There's this thing called the Secret Sesh, and I'm sure they're being done everywhere, where people basically plan a cannabis-friendly party and they charge a small amount to get in, and people are given free cannabis to smoke all night, and there are people selling items, and
No,
vendors
there's
are there.